Remember this guy? The history of Ren, for me, was a little shaky. The first video I ever checked out was this video right here. Turned it on, and I want to say within 30 seconds of the song kind of starting, I was struggling. Turned it off. A lot of people said you should check out his backstory first and then make a decision. Now, I kind of see the logic in that. I see the logic in that more now that I have experienced DPR Ian specifically. With his context, it really changes how his art is perceived. So I understand that context being important. But initially, I thought, like, why do I have to know that this guy has Lyme disease to appreciate his music? That doesn't make any sense to me. But why isn't the same true for DPR Ian, who has bipolar disorder, and I think he's schizoaffective or something like that? So, anyway, I wasn't digging this the first time that we saw it. Then people recommended Chalk Outlines with Chinchilla, which was friggin' phenomenal. I think about that video at least once a week. Absolutely love it. But I need to go back. We're going to give this a second go. At the very least, I'm going to watch it all the way through, and then I will make a decision instead of waiting 30 seconds and then cutting it off. Okay? And then we'll see what the director says at the very end. Now, some people say this is a little experimental. It's a little different. It's not your usual, like, you know, production, I suppose. Let's give it a try. Okay, this buffer has gotta go. Okay, let me make sure I'm good here, because I'm getting some crazy skipping. You can probably see on this video. Let's see. Try that. Are you getting this lag? This is killing me. I can't take this. I need an uninterrupted version. We're going to pay attention to the message, not necessarily just the sound.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down you know that. Deep down you know I'm always in periphery. Ren, on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi Ren, I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately, and I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect at always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate. This time is different, man, trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place. And my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great. And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one, so you see. You gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Where are your Grammys, Ren? Nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial.
I'm reacting to the buffering of this video. Just gonna give it a second. I'm gonna let YouTube get its shit together so that we can enjoy this.
Like that. I never changed.
I'm gonna drop the resolution a little bit. Maybe that will help. I don't understand how this is not going well.
Chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with the subconscious, Eminem did it. Played on guitar, Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus. Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside. Newsflash, I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason, beheading all kings. I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mustapha truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender. When standing in front of my solar eclipse, my name is stitched to your lips. So you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal, feeble and normal. You wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of ends. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? 'Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs that I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate different side. When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax, and I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
Well, I have to say, man, I am having trouble with some words. Because I feel like there's a lot to say. Hold on. I think I'm just going to shotgun out a bunch of stuff, okay? It might make sense, it might not. I think there's a lot that we can say about, geez, where do I even begin? Like initially when I first started watching this the first time and I turned it off because I was in the mode of, I see this cat with a guitar. I play guitar. we always listen to these songs. Oh, I like this song. I like that song. Oh, that was interesting. That had a nice melody to it. And this right here, this music that you hear speaks my language. I love this. Immediately, I'm on board, okay? But then, when the singing starts, I'm like, okay, I think he's kind of setting the stage.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery, Ren.
This is a little out there for me. And that's why I was like, okay, wait a second. I don't know if I can listen to this for 9 minutes. Let's see if he changes it.
And you're pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant.
And then I'm like, okay, so he's kind of telling a story here. I get that. But then when he starts to go back and forth, I think I can't, my misophonia cannot handle this for 9 minutes. That's what I thought. And that's why I turned it off. Well, sitting and listening to it, and this is why I say I'm not quite sure the words to use and what to say, because I think there's so much that we could talk about around this video, okay? And not just the video of the song. For example, me just shotgunning thoughts. I didn't like the sound initially, so I cut it off. Me forcing myself to sit in this space that I initially found uncomfortable ultimately resulted in me experiencing something powerful. I don't think this is meant to be a nice little soft, supple song. It's a powerful song that I think is more for the artist than it is for the listener. I think that the listener gets something out of it by hearing the message and finding relatable pieces, but it's more for him to get this out there, and then on some level you at least understand where he's coming from. That's what I think. And I think where I really struggle here is where there are times where I want to explode at people who are not willing to sit in discomfort, to sit in uncomfortable conversations or places or topics when there is growth to be had. That is difficult for me. And I say that's difficult for me because like I grew up in New Hampshire in the woods. I had friends that I loved. I had family that loved me. My upbringing was just fine. I was a mama's boy. Hell, I'm still a mama's boy. But you shove me into the Marine Corps at 17 years old, I'm gonna learn some hard lessons really fast. I wanted to quit every day that I was in there. But I still managed to find ways to be positive, to have a good outlook, to set a good example, and excel through my time. I was forced to sit in that very uncomfortable place for a matter of years. With Ren and his art, I think you're kind of forced to sit there and hear things that you don't want to hear. To him cover topics that aren't easy to talk about. Is any of this making sense? I don't know if I'm just blurting out into the void. Yeah. So I'm 100% glad that we sat through it, because I think that there is absolutely something here. I think this is really pretty brilliant how he did this. At first, when he started talking at the end and giving context, I was kind of thinking, damn, I wish this was at the beginning, but I'm glad that it wasn't. Now, I think the reason they probably put it at the end was because if you put it at the beginning, him talking for 2 minutes, nobody's going to listen to it. They'll be like, nope, boring, and then they're out. Same way that I was when I first listened to it. But we kind of had to sit through the unknown to get to the known. Yes, there are parts of this song that I'm like, ugh, I don't know how much more I can listen to this. But you kind of have to do that to get to more information, to more context, to more understanding. And if that isn't the perfect friggin' example of how sometimes you have to be exposed to things that are difficult, that are things that you don't agree with, they're things that you don't see eye to eye on, that's okay. We are always going to be in that situation because there are so many of us coming from so many different walks of life and so many like backgrounds and experiences and any variable that you can imagine. You are not going to agree 100% on anybody in your life, including your closest loved ones to your best friend. At some point, you're going to disagree on something. And if you try to live a life where you only abide by this one avenue of X, Y, and Z, and you only let people in that are of that same mindset, you're going to have a lonely ass life. And if you can tell, I am absolutely on my soapbox. Ren talks about some hard stuff here, and he talks about stuff that's relatable. Maybe you don't have these same levels of thoughts and words and experiences that he's discussing. Maybe it's not that level for you, but I can absolutely say that this right here is 100% what I myself will go through sometimes where I'm struggling with making a decision. Am I doing it because I think it's the right thing to do, or am I doing it because I want people to think that I'm doing the right thing? That kind of conversation is a non-stop circle of introspection and like I can't even words right now, man. You know what I mean? And if anything, this type of conversation that we're happening right now was sparked by Ren doing what he did. We took a chance. We stepped out into the discomfort of it. And here we are, having a conversation. That's what I'm talking about. Man. I'm sure there's a bunch of context about Ren that I don't have and would probably help moving forward. But I do have to say, I am incredibly impressed with him. More so than I was with Chalk Outlines. Because with Chalk Outlines, it was this one shot of him and Chinchilla in this hallway, I guess, this room. And it was so magnificent for so many ways. In so many ways, for so many reasons. But here we are with just him. And he's telling you this entire story over 9 minutes that on some ways you can relate to it. On some ways you can't. And that's probably a good thing. Wow. Yeah. Damn, that was a heavy one, man. That is a heavy one. I know it's meant to be, but I don't know if necessarily I don't think that's what he was going for. I don't think that what we just discussed was actually what he was going for. I think he was going for more of like, hey, this is kind of how my experience in life is, and I want you to understand what my experience is so you kind of get me and my art more. That's, I think, probably what he was going for. But as always, because art is subjective, we found ways to receive this, translate it, and then actually have a discussion about it. Wow. Really interesting, man. Really interesting.